Post Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about some tools that are available to you to take your Kontakt development to the next level. So you've probably gone through the series, and hopefully you have gone through the series, and you're kind of looking, maybe you're looking more towards doing scripting, and you're looking more towards making GUI interfaces, graphical user interfaces. Maybe you're just looking more for the philosophy behind recording and how that's done, or you're looking towards marketing and managing web development. You know, there's all these other topics that I don't really cover in my tutorial series because it's mostly about the functionality of Kontakt. So there are some tools out there. One in particular that I enjoyed was the custom sample libraries. It is the sampling handbook. And this handbook sort of a philosophy about how to sample. It talks about, it walks you through your planning stage, what you should do before you plan to make instruments, what you should do while you're recording, what you should do when you're like after the recording, the type of post you do, putting the instruments together, getting a vision, just getting your head really around how this works. It really helped me sort of unfold into the next level. Let me see what the next steps would be, wiser ways of going about things, how to plan effectively. And it's not even that complicated. I think it's a very intuitive way that will give you a greater idea and vision of what you want to accomplish. Once you have a vision, the rest is pretty much over. You just need the info, and it supplies that as well. So this is actually part of a series and a premium bundle. And so this is really good. But if we come down here, they did some pretty impressive things. So they have some sales and marketing courses as well as some web hosting courses that are really nifty. And they take you through creating a website, not necessarily towards creating a website. It's more of a strategies about things you want to avoid and things you want to do to get a website going. And the sales and marketing is exactly what it sounds like. I think this is really good, especially if you have no prior experience or you're looking for ways to deal with sales and marketing. That is something that I found extraordinarily useful. Now, this is really cool. This is outrageously cool what they did here. If you've ever gotten into Kontakt scripting, you've gone probably to the Native Instruments forums, and you've probably seen Evil Dragon, right here, Evil Dragon, on the forums. This guy is like everywhere. Like I see him on the on several other forums too. He posts all over the place. He just posts all sorts of answers. This guy is just like the contacting wizard, scripting wizard for Kontakt. And they actually got an interview with him, and he actually sounds quite a bit different than I thought, but this is an audio interview, and I really enjoyed this. This was really cool. If anything, it's worth it just for this. Like, this was so cool hearing him talk. Granted, there's not as much technical info. It's more of a sort of an industry insider type deal. So, I mean, but this was really cool, especially if you've gone on the forums and you've seen him. You can hear the voice behind Evil Dragon. You can kind of see how things behind the industry work. He talks about sample libraries he's worked on, interesting ideas and concepts. It's pretty cool. Now, if this actually comes with an audiobook as well, so you can listen to it in the cars or going places. That's something I do a lot of driving, so this is a really nice thing to do because I'm always going back and forth between school and whatnot. But as they even have it here, pre-planning, editing, the scripting section of it, and they actually have different people. Now, the guys who wrote this, they're very successful. They've had their stuff done in TV shows. They talk about it in the series itself, and you can get a preview of some of the contents that are in there. See if this is something that would really help you. I really think it's a good next level step. So they are commercially successful, and they actually have different people for different books. So the scripting was actually written by a scripter. Obviously, they have an interview with the guy who really knows his stuff. He's worked on, if you've ever seen Output, it's those ads that are always playing on YouTube right now. The ones, Rev, and in here, his name's actually Mario. Evil Dragon actually talks about why those libraries, because those are the ones he's worked on. He says those are some of the most interesting ones he's worked on, and he talks about why. Granted, they marketed it way up, and I've seen the ad probably 100 times, but even besides that, I still think it's an incredible instrument, and so they talk about that there. So you have a beginner's guide to Kontakt scripting as well. This is really nifty because it's like, if you've ever tried to learn scripting from the actual manuals included, it's totally possible, but you kind of have to do a lot of supplementing. And when you get into the straight up the referencing manual, you will find that it's not the most intuitive manual. It just kind of tells you what the parameters do. If you understand scripting, it's a great manual. You could be able to run with it right away. And I found out that I was missing a manual actually when I installed Kontakt. For whatever reason, there's an older one. I believe it came with Kontakt 3 or 4, and that was the one I was looking for. And this is along the lines of that, except for it's quite a bit more user friendly, a lot more in depth, a lot more down to earth. So this is a great way to learn about that. And if you intend to sell your stuff, after you go through this and the sampling handbook, you'll have all the tools you really need to make sales and marketing a relative topic to you. You'll be able to actually market your stuff. So that's really cool, a really neat way. I have read through almost everything at this point. Originally, it was mostly about this, but it got really interesting real quick. And so as you go along, you can get sneak peeks of what's inside and see exactly what it says. And now this is the last one. And this contains everything. This is if you're going like all out. They give you WAV files to practice with. They have a video series. If you come down here, you can actually see what's in the video series. Now, you've probably watched mine, and this one is a little bit different because they go over Knobman. So the creation of knobs for your interface, custom interface stuff. This will come in handy if you plan to go into Reactor as well. But they just go about it a different way, a different style of showing. They have quite a bit more editing on there, so it looks a lot smoother, and I think it's a little friendlier learning-wise, as well as they cover very different topics. Like they talk about editing in Pro Tools and other things in much more depth, like pre-processing and pitch correction and things that I did not cover in super big detail. I focused more on the functionality, and so this is way more towards you're making instruments now rather than what I did where I was explaining a lot of functions and features and just trying to get concepts displayed. And so, yeah, you get these things, and that's what it comes with. Personally, I think it's totally worth it. I am also a college student, and I'm always forking out money for books. And, oh my gosh, some English textbooks are just so expensive. But this is like, as far as textbooks go, I could totally see this as like in a series on Kontakt, and it's like sort of like a series on just creating your own instruments and actually creating a marketable, successful business. If that's what you're into, and you could do it over things that you really enjoy doing, and you even get some industry insider stuff that allows you to kind of see maybe some techniques that you'll find effective in networking and how to do that. Because Evil Dragon actually started off working for free, and that was something that, you know, I kind of expected, but at the same time, I was kind of blown away. He actually started off when he was really young. His whole backstory was interesting. I was like, whoa, this guy is crazy, man. He was like reading manuals when he was in like junior high. It's nuts. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this. If this is something that you want to step into and move up, this is a really good next step. Definitely worth the investment. It could yield huge returns if you follow through and actually, you know, make the instruments and follow along and do what it says. And it's been written in a way that that's very possible to do, very easy to do, and they encourage you to do it. So by the end, you will be able to approach a company and say, hey, I'm good at creating sample libraries. If you want to go work for like Impact Soundworks or any other company like that, you have a much your chances open up, your horizons broaden. So if you have any questions about this, drop them in the comments. Subscribe if you enjoy these videos. I hope you find this useful, and have a blessed... Oh, one more thing. You can purchase these things in tiers, so it's not like you need to get everything. So there's 3 tiers. The first one is the handbook, and the handbook alone with the audio thing, that might be just the first thing you want to do, and you may want to move up after that, depending on what you get out of the handbook. Because that's obviously substantially less. I believe this is the developer tier, and this one comes with, you know, the 4 things listed here, and it comes with the interview, which like that's a big pushover for me. Totally do it. But if you're interested in really getting into scripting, and then of course the last one's like the all out, like you're gonna learn how to do like everything. It's all there. So again, have a blessed day.